What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, UnclefOOlio, and I'm back for another episode of the Kontroversy, ladies and gentlemen. As always, these episodes are sponsored by Nothing But Knicks. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the notification bell to be notified anytime we go live. Pre-game coverage, post-game coverage, shoot-around videos, any little quick clips or quick topics that we want to talk about, we'll hop on here, hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified of it all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm obviously back doing this, this controversy episode. Today, we're going to talk about potential trades, right? Potential trades that are out there. And we're going to be utilizing the Fanspo trade machine, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a special sponsor for this show. It's going to be fanspo.com. Make sure you check them out. There's a link in the description of this video. They have an awesome website with the trade machine for NFL trades. They have mock draft boards, mock big boards, also NFL stuff, the same thing, but for the NFL as well. Trade machines, big boards, things of that nature. So definitely go check them out. There's a link right in the description of this video, so definitely go take a look at them. I got my guy Andy here with me, and we're going to talk about some trades, some stuff that the Knicks can still do after the Cam Reddish trade. Hopefully we can try to improve this team a little bit more before the trade deadline. So let me get my guy Andy in here with me. Andy, what is going on with you? How you doing?
Yo, what up, Josh? Happy to be on with you on the controversy. And like you said, man, we're going to be trying to upgrade the roster even more. So let's see if Leon Rose is going to be watching this episode and trying to make the moves that we are going to try to make.
Exactly. And obviously the Knicks acquired Cam Reddish earlier this week. They traded for him and Solomon Hill for Kevin Knox in the first-round draft pick, which I accurately predicted, by the way. I thought that's all that it would take to get Cam Reddish from Atlanta. And we were able to land him, right? So there's going to be questions moving forward about, his spot in the rotation. Where is he going to play in the rotation, things of that nature. And there's been a lot of talk that the Knicks are going to try to make some more moves before the deadline to try to open up a rotation spot for Cam Reddish, right? So some of that is what we're going to talk about. We're also going to try to address some of the needs that we have on this team, still outstanding, right? Stretch five, also the point guard position, right? So we're going to try to look for those trades and see what we can be able to pull off, what's reasonable for both sides, or if not more sides, right? Andy, so as you know, and a lot of other people know, I did go to the game last night. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit shot because I was doing a lot of yelling and screaming. After the Cam Reddish trade, it just so happens that the Knicks played in Atlanta, right, where Cam Reddish came from. There was a Kevin Knox sighting on the bench. He had the nice yellow Atlanta Hawk jersey on or what have you. And it's just coincidence that it kind of played out that way. They gave a big tribute to Cam Reddish on the big board, stuff like that. But I just got a video clip that I want to share for everybody when I was at the game. I want you guys to check this out.
How many championships I got, man? Come on. And y'all wasn't even in Atlanta. Come on now.
I mean, look, listen. I wasn't, they was talking trash to me, so I had to give it back to them. You know what I'm saying? I had to give it back to them. I gave them the thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? They talking about New York sucks. Yeah, whatever. Who wants to come to Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? Andy, that's crazy. I don't know why they would do that to me.
Josh, listen, I'm not gonna say you're a target, man, but some fans, from the Knicks fan base, made you a target, when you came first to the NBK. Now you know what, you're in the good favors with fans. So
Andy, I really can't help it. I don't know what it is, but I'm just glad we won the ball game. Obviously, RJ and Randall had really good games, and then when those two are playing well, it's really hard to beat the Knicks. So I'm glad that we won the game last night. We're on a 4-game winning streak, and now it's time to talk about some trades. Okay, so if you want, you can go ahead and pull up the website. I'll get it up here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Fanspo website. I'm gonna have Andy explain a little bit about the intricacies and everything like that. I'll put it full screen for you guys.
Yeah, so let me and Josh introduce the Fanspo website for you guys. We and the NBK content creators, try to use it because we feel that it might be even better than the ESPN one. You can trade picks and stuff like that. The first view of it might not be, that much of a pleasure. You sign up, on the right top corner, and this is really important because you can, save screenshots of the trades that you make, and then share it on social media. So that's really helpful. Two tabs that we're going to be using today is the tool tab with the trade machine and the cap manager. And let's go, straight up to it. And it looks more promising over here. Trending players being traded, right? Over here, top 25, I think. Yeah, it's top 25. Cam Reddish and Kevin Knox are not in here because they're already traded, so they're not going to be moved. A couple of players that the Knicks are looking after: Miles Turner, Jeremy Grant. Some people said Russell Westbrook. Some said Karis LeVert. Plenty of guys here, that were mentioned. Maybe Jalen Brown that we will want, right? But let's try to make a trade for whom? Nobody else than Jalen Brunson, right? I think we don't gotta look far. Mark Berman
Right.
reported that Jalen Brunson was a target that the Knicks want him bad.
Right. Quote unquote, want him
Josh,
bad.
exactly. Let's see, Josh, what we can do to get Jalen Brunson on the Knicks. We're gonna pick the Knicks on the right, on the left side, on the right side, and we're gonna pick the Mavs. Listen, you can add more teams to these trades, right? I don't think a third team is going to be needed to get Jalen Brunson to the Knicks. Of course, if you want, you can add more teams and try to do it. Let's start with getting our, let's hope, future point guard in Jalen Brunson. If you want to trade the player to your team, it's basically easy because you just find the player, click the three dots. You can view the profile, modify the contract. This modify the contract is also a really important tab because it's more important when the free agency starts, because when you click this tab, options of re-signing and signing and trading a player are more available, right? But we're gonna try to do a trade before the deadline. So a player like Jalen Brunson, we're just gonna click him to come to
Andy,
the Knicks.
but before you, real quick, before you continue, if you can you click on Jalen Brunson and go to view his profile? I'm gonna show people something. So let's see. If you want to go to his contract, and then this tab goes over a lot of different things, obviously, as you can see. But go to his contract up top, where you can be able to select that tab right there. So if you ever have a question about, how much money is owed to a player, right? When does his contract end? I think this is a great tool. You can be able to see it, right? And then you can be able to project, how much cap, is this person going to be taking up? How do you match the money up? I know when you make the trades, you can see it right there on the side, how much the person is making for that year, right? But if you want to look at it from a long-term perspective, this is a great tool where you can be able to go in there and see what the cap hit is, what's his base salary, and when is the person going to become a free agent right there on the right-hand side. So I think that's a good tool that we can able to use right there. You good, Andy?
Yeah. And, listen, all the stats, and the rest of the things, this is really important. But, for fans using this machine basically for the first time, I think, it's also really easy to use if you don't want to go even that deep, right? We know that Knicks fan base has plenty of couch GMs, so I think this is going to be, a great tool to use and play with, just to get the, I think the fun and the general management ideas popping, right? So listen, the basic thing on NBA trades is the salaries have to match, and that's a really obvious thing. So I think if a team has wants to trade with another team, I think the salaries has to match unless it's a 10% difference if the other team can has cap space. So basically, if you're trading straight up for Jalen Brunson, you need to match that 1.8 million, right?
Which isn't a lot.
When we trade Jalen Brunson, yeah, which isn't a lot exactly. When we use the trade button and trade him to the Knicks, he pops on the Knicks side, right? So we see here what's the incoming number. Next thing, we gotta send around 1.8 to the Mavs, right? So let's browse through these contracts and see who has at least similar amount of money. Perfect target is actually Mitchell Robinson.
Yep.
Listen, I know that fans are not going to like this move, right? But let's not hide the the news around the league that the Mavs are looking at a guy like Miles Turner, which is a center. So they probably are looking for a center in a trade, right? Mitch's future with the Knicks, probably the Knicks will love to keep him. I don't think we're gonna be, have the money. We can go over the salary cap to resign him, right? But just straight up for the fun to make this trade happen in this Fanspo site, let's just trade Mitch Robinson to the Mavs, right?
Andy, real quick, I also want to point out that Jalen Brunson is a player that we need for sure. Not to me personally, this is my opinion. I think Jalen Brunson would be perfect as a perfect point guard for the Knicks, because now with the emergence of RJ Barrett, when his more of an on-ball role, Brunson is that type of player that really doesn't need the basketball in his hands to be effective. He is so good without the basketball in his hands. He's so good setting his teammates up, and he's just a really crafty player. Has a bunch of Knick ties. So I think, despite us losing Mitchell Robinson in this deal, I think this is a win for us, because we're bringing back a player that I think can fit right in. And on top of that, I think we have Nerlens Noel on the contract again for next year. Maybe we can try to probably elevate Nerlens Noel, put him back in the starting lineup, or go out and look for another center, which we're going to talk about right after we make this deal. And also, I don't think if the Knicks were to make this move straight up, I don't think that is going to require a first round pick, right? I don't think that's going to require a first round pick, only because we're trading away Mitchell Robinson's bird rights. So the Mavericks will have the opportunity to sign Mitchell Robinson for a longer term contract without it affecting their cap. They can go over the cap to sign him, so to speak. So I think to entice them to make this deal, I think second round picks would suffice. But Andy, what do you think about this?
Listen, it's for me, I'm with you 100% with this trade 1-for-1. Why? Because I really think that we can find a center like Mitchell Robinson on the market or on the trade block, right? And not only with his skill set, but maybe we are looking for something else, with a center with another skill set, right? Maybe like a Miles Turner as a follow-up deal, right? But let's, just for the fun of it, you said about picks, right? You can
second round picks, yes.
You can trade the picks in this tab. You see the rosters, so you have the players currently under contract that you can trade, right? But here you have the picks. You have the trade exceptions. We have a Kevin Knox trade exception from the trade that we did, lately. But I'm just gonna show you how to trade a pick, right? So you can add a pick, trade to the Mavs. You can protect it. Listen, right. You can swap them basically. So it's easy. You just trade it and it's going to go over here. But since we want the trade to work, outgoing 1.8 million, incoming 1.8 million, as far as the, numbers wise, I think this trade should work, right? Let's try. Here's the try trade button. If this happens, we're going to have the result of the trade that's going to be a success. Let me point out just one more thing, Josh, that we're going to have to go back. We can go back to adjust the trade, but Jalen Brunson and Mitch Robinson and the rest of the NBA players, they have like this basketball index. It's called LeBron. I don't like that name, but let it be, right? It's called luck adjusted player estimate using a box prior regulation on off. Impact data is provided by Basketball Insight, right? And you can see how it's calculated over here and exploited that data, right? Why did the LeBron impact the index is basically for these numbers over here, for the ones lower about lower under the guys after the trade, right? So the Knicks should be the whole win statistics for the whole season should be one more win with Jalen Brunson instead of Mitch Robinson. Meanwhile, the Mavs, gonna have -1. This indicator is more for multiple team trades. So you see if, for example, the Knicks have one, the Mavs have +1, and for example, the third team would have like -2, -4. So that team is going to give out better players and take back worse players, right?
Right.
And here are the statistics of the index for a certain player, right? So Jalen Brunson is rated 1.1. Meanwhile, Mitch Robinson is rated 0.25. So according to this basketball index, Mitch Robinson is like a quarter of a player that Jalen Brunson is. And some fans are not going to agree. Listen, It's several points of view, right? So
right. Andy, real quick, I just want fans to understand. So the reason why we're showing you guys this is not because we're lobbying for a certain trade or not, right? I'm not saying that I want to just go out there and get rid of Richard Robinson and bring in Jalen Brunson. That's not what the whole purpose is. This is at all, right? What we're doing is we're showing you this website and showing you hypothetically how to go in and make trades. Sometimes people say, well, why don't we just get rid of this player and bring in this player? Well, sometimes it's not that easy, right? The money has to match up. You have to fit the team needs, and all of this stuff that Andy's talking about. This index right here. It's just basically just to give you an idea about what the projections are, right? Doesn't mean it's going to be solid. Like, we're guaranteed to get one more win, and Dallas is guaranteed to lose one more game if we make this deal. Okay, so it's just a hypothetical, kind of projection kind of thing. And I can guarantee you that, a lot of these executives, particularly in the analytic department and all of these teams, are looking at these numbers, right? They're looking at, some of these heavy analytic advanced stat numbers to see how it would affect their team, right? And they will give it to the president of basketball operations or the general manager to either entice them or not entice them to make the deal, right? I want to highlight some of these comments real quick, Andy. Shout out to Hewlett Samuel, aka Dad Lee. He says, saw Foolio on TV last night. Thank you very much. Will Salkin says Brunson and Bombo. Okay. D977 says, I'm not trading Mitch for Brunson. Okay. He also says Nerlens Noel is always injured. Salute to Pudge Nice. He said Mitch is staying. I don't think Knicks fans really like this trade too much. Sam says, but we also need Mitch. Okay. Mitch for Brunson is still given he is available on free agency. So this is the one I wanted to talk about. Yeah, he's available on free agency, but we don't have the money to sign him because the Knicks are capped out this offseason, right? We don't have the money to spend. We lost Kevin Knox's expiring contract and we bought back Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is a team option for next season, which most likely will get picked up. So we don't have any free money in the offseason to go out and sign Jalen Brunson outright. So we definitely need to look at that. That's why it's important that we look at these tools. Bayside Jr. says, I don't mind a mixed trade, but we need to acknowledge without replacing what he gives us, we will suck. I don't think we would suck without Mitchell Robinson. I'm not going to go that far, but Mitchell Robinson is a huge part of what the Knicks are doing right now. There's no question about that, right? So this is not us just throwing Mitchell Robinson to the wolves. This is us acknowledging who Mitchell Robinson is, what he's doing, but you have to be able to give if you want to get something back in return. Noel will be traded. Okay, I believe that will happen as well, but specifically for Brunson, the money doesn't add up. Like Nerlens Noel is making over $9-10 million more than what Jalen Brunson is making right now. And let's see. Let me just get one more comment in here. Building Root says, get Dallas back that 2023 first-round pick plus Noel plus Lucas Samanic plus a second-round pick for Brunson. Andy, go ahead and try that. Let's see if we can try that trade. Let's see, just so people can understand how difficult these trades are to make.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna show you. I'm just gonna try to finish up this one because this trade is a really fast one that me and Josh pulled, right? But I'm just gonna show you guys where to save it, and why I'm gonna show you this. We want you guys to propose your trades, not only for Jalen Brunson, or you can do one trade and then a follow-up trade. And then you can probably hit up me or Josh on Twitter, and we can talk on the next episode of the Kontroversy, sponsored by Fanspo. We can make another episode next week, and we can, discuss your guys' trade proposals. That would be really fun. Me and Josh would probably love to comment your trades. So I'm going to just show you guys where you can save this trade and how we would like you to do it, and hit us up on Twitter. So if you're going to be logged in, you can save this trade by clicking Save Trade. You can add a title, and you can click over here and choose a space. If you choose something here, you're gonna be like you can add you on your profile. You can find the Knicks. So every time Knick fans, for example, I'm gonna save this trade. Actually, I don't care that I might be blasted on Fanspo, but let's do it just for the fun.
Knicks get a point guard. Yeah, Knicks get a point guard.
Yeah. We can say Knicks get their future point guard. Let's leave it like that. I'm not even gonna elaborate over here, right? And I'm gonna post it. When you post it, the post is created. Every fans just that are gonna browse through the Knicks trades that are proposed, they're gonna see this trade, right? So it's like this. You can share it also on Twitter, Facebook, and the rest of the things. If you want to do a trade and share it on Twitter and add me and Josh, we can do it. Also another way with probably we would love us. We would love rather have that you can share. Take a snapshot of the trade. So we're gonna have already the graphics settled. Let's go again with the Mavs. Add it straight up. I'm gonna add like just exactly like we did before. Trade to the Knicks. Try trade. Remember the button over here, and you can do the snapshot, right? And after using the snapshot, you have it traded. You can just download, and it's gonna download to your PC or telephone, because you saw a phone, you can use it on the phone also, and then just do a screensaver or whatever, and just tag us on Twitter. If you want to adjust the trade later, if it's not going to work, you can just adjust the trade and go over here back to the trade to the building blocks, right? And like you said, Josh, somebody said that he's not happy with the trade, and he wanted to add Luka Simanic, right?
Yeah, it's right here in the comment. I have the comment highlighted right here. So they said Luka Simanic, Nerlens Noel.
Yeah, Nerlens Noel. Let's go Nerlens Noel. And I understand that Mitch is not going in that trade, right? So I'm gonna.
No, they don't want Mitch.
Yeah, so Mitch is staying with the Knicks. So it's Nerlens Noel, Luka Simanic, and they were picks, right? You can read it off for me because I have the
2023 first round pick.
Dallas pick.
The right? Dallas pick. Yep. Yeah. Give it back to him.
Yeah. Okay. Protected, unprotected, whatever. Traded to the Mavs.
And then they said also a second round pick.
Second round pick. Well, let's see.
Yeah, I had a second round pick in there somewhere.
We got tons of second round picks, so we can go give them. I'm not going to give them the Detroit pick because that's going to be a high pick. I'm going to give them. Let's give them this Utah pick. Yeah,
the Utah second round
Utah pick. And we're going to trade this to the Mavs. Okay, and we're still supposed to get only Jalen Brunson. I understand, right?
Yep, for Jalen Brunson.
Okay, let's try this trade then. This trade is also successful. I'm guessing this also successful because the cap impact for the Knicks is going to be 6.9 million, and for the Mavs is going to be 6.1 million. But they supposed to have space for that those contracts that they can absorb, right?
Right.
Question is, if they're going to give us Jalen Brunson with 1.1 LeBron index. Meanwhile, when Nerlens Noel has minus 0.56 and Luka Simanic has minus 1.72, and those guys got minus index, right? So the Mavs going to have minus 2 wins. We're going to have plus 2 wins. The first round and the second round picks, that might balance a little bit. Right. But I'm not, thinking that the Mavs would be happy with this kind of a deal. I don't think they're looking for those picks to be, added. Maybe they're happy with the picks, but I don't think Nerlens Noel is their center of the future, whatever. So, and I don't think they're actually in the position to go after a championship, and he's like the last piece that they need, right? So,
Andy, can you go to the Mac if you're going to go back to the Mavericks? I'm going to show everyone something there. And go to their pick situation. Let's look at their pick situation.
Yeah.
Now, if you can we added those 2
picks.
Right. But as you can see there, the Mavericks don't have any draft picks in 2023, right? Am I looking at that correctly?
Yeah.
Right. So essentially, what we're doing is we're giving them back or giving them some first round, some picks for that year. Essentially, that's what we're doing in that. You still don't think they would take a move like that?
I don't think so. I don't think that pick in 2023 is that important for them that they would basically take Nerlens Noel. And I know that Nerlens Noel was a Dallas Maverick. They might be familiar with him. I don't think though he's familiar with the current Mavs roster, and that he's such a good player basically compared to what they can have straight up for trading, for example, for Mitch Robinson. And listen, these teams and these GMs know each other and know the situations just by looking at the books and the payrolls, right? They
Right.
know that the Knicks will have to extend Robinson in the offseason. They're basically in the same situation with Jalen Brunson. So they know
Right.
if they're not going to make a move, they might lose these players for nothing. So it's easier to talk and negotiate, right, between each other if you know the situations. And this isn't nothing hidden between the lines. This is every obvious for even fans, right? So I think the Mavs might pull the trigger around the Mitch straight up for Jalen Brunson, but I don't think they're doing it for the trade that we were trying just before. With Lucas Samanic, Nerlens Noel, and the 2 picks. I think those 2 picks are not sweet enough for them to get a guy like Nerlens Noel instead of Mitch Robinson.
Gotcha. So let me just highlight a couple more of these comments because I see a lot of people talking about this now. Let's start with New York Yankee. New York Yankee. I don't think Brunson wants to re-sign with the Mavs. Okay, see about that. That's too much money going to Dallas, says D Nice. How can that trade work? Well, it's successful from a financial standpoint. Like the Mavericks can absorb that money, right?
Yeah,
What are you highlighting right there, Andy?
yeah, because we see here how much they're under the tax situation, right? So it's 9.3, and if it's incoming 8.8, they can, for example, let's call it, not really nice, but they can swallow that money. If if the 8.8 would be over 9.3, this trade would be unsuccessful. So
Gotcha. Okay. Building Root says, yeah, they probably would say no. So I think he put the trade out there, but he also where coming from the way you explain it. Knicks Worldwide said Dallas don't have that type of leverage for a high return for Brunson. So I don't think that's much of a high return though, because if you look at it, first and foremost, people want to get rid of Nerlens Noel anyway, right? Because they really, really like Mitch, right? Nerlens Noel is one of those contracts between him, Kemba, Alec Burks, one of those contracts that I think the Knicks have a lot of leverage with themselves, right? So I think they can be able to go ahead and use that to their advantage in this type of deal. And again, we have too many guys in the rotation as it is, right? Nerlens Noel is a piece of that rotation as well. So you got to be able to make room for him to come in there, and play. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Nerlens Noel and Jalen Brunson plays 2 different positions, but again, we have to sacrifice some of this pieces in our rotation because Tibbs already said he's not going to go over 10. D-Nice says Brunson is nice, but he's not that nice. I like Brunson a lot. I don't know what you're talking about. Brunson is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even need the ball in his hands, as someone pointed out down here at Stafford on. He's a great fit, pass first, and he doesn't need the ball in his hands. We're talking about RJ Barrett being more of an on-ball player. You bring a point guard in there that really doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. And when he does have the ball, he's looking to give it up, right? And we already know he can score really crafty around the rim. And to me, he's just a New York kind of dude. So I really, really like the Jalen Brunson move to the Knicks. And I think, all these scenarios are definitely, they definitely can be realistic, right? And I think it's some truth to the report that the Knicks really want Jalen Brunson. And I would love to have him in here. I would love to have him in here on this team. Andy, I know that we're also going to talk about some other moves that we could potentially make. Let's talk about Miles Turner. So Miles Turner is someone that the Knicks has also been on the Knicks radar, right? And there's some interest there. Obviously, if we bring him in here, I think at some point you have to get rid of either Mitch or Noel, because where's Miles Turner going to play, right? But let's just take a look at a potential Miles Turner trade, and how that would potentially look there.
let's go ahead. I'm going to add the Pacers. Yeah, you said Miles Turner. Let's add Miles Turner trade to the Knicks. So who are we giving up for Miles Turner?
Well, let's look at his contract, Andy. Let's look at his contract real quick.
Right.
Yep.
17.5. The contract is till 2023. So it's basically yeah after next season. He has some incentives, 10 million totally. These are not that big that they're gonna affect this trade by any means, right? So his contract is 4 years, $8 million. He's in the second year in this contract, right? No, sorry, third year.
Third.
So
Yep.
yeah, so we're over here. Yeah. Basically, we gotta give the the Pacers something around 17.5 million. And in this situation, listen, as far as I'm the Pacers now, right? I want young players in the return or picks because I want to rebuild. If I'm sending, my starting center to you, right? Unless they're thinking that one of our vet players is going to help them that much that they're not going to have to tear that team apart. We heard reports that they're thinking about trading even Sabonis, Levert. Brogdon is not available for trade on this season because he's recently signed, right? So
yes,
I don't think they're gonna move by any means Chris Duarte because they have him, for a reasonable contract for 4 years. So I think he might be one of the pieces that's basically unmovable in that roster, right? Josh, so who do you think the Knicks would send to the Pacers for Miles Turner?
So this one's a little bit tricky because Miles Turner's contract ends next season, right at the end of next season, and the tradable contracts that I would say that the Knicks have also end next season, right? So to me, I think we can go ahead, we can match the money up. I don't think that'll be an issue. However, we have to entice them to make this deal and do it with us instead of someone else, because we have, it's easy to make the money match up, right? But essentially, the money that we're sending over there is also going to expire at the same time, right? So I would say we need to add some draft picks, potentially a young player in this deal to make it work, right? So personally, if I was the Pacers, I would say Nerlens, because you have to get rid of one of the centers, right? So I would say Nerlens Noel. So how much we got left? Like 10 million, right?
Yeah, a little bit less than 10 million, something around 8.5.
And I would do one of the guards. Let's see, one of the guards. Maybe
Kemba.
Maybe Kemba, maybe Burks, maybe Rose. You look at all, one probably not Rose. It makes a little bit more.
Yeah,
I either
think
Kemba
Rose,
or Burks.
Yeah, let's go. I would go with Kemba because we don't know the situation that Thibs is thinking about Kemba. I think that this might be the easy way out for Kemba to go, and Thibs won't have to explain himself much to the media. We don't know what's the clear situation out there with Kemba because he got benched, he came back, he played well, but you never know what Thibs might have on his mind, right?
And how does the money look there? That's 17. That's pretty much the same, right? 17.5 million, right?
That's exactly the same, Josh. We're looking
exactly.
Bro, I hope Knicks management is looking like, on this video and they're like, listen, these guys are perfect. So
right. Now listen, just Kemba Walker and Nerlens Noel is not going to get it done because, like I said, the money matches up. It's easy to match the money. The Knicks have the contracts to be able to do it, but you have to entice them. Now, before we talk about these draft picks, look at what draft picks the Pacers have right now. So they are good next year. They're good the following year after that. So they already have some draft capital, right? So you would think that they probably would need another.
They don't have the round draft pick in 2024. They only have 23. They got 2 seconds and a first. They have only 1 pick in 2024. Let's try to throw him. Look how many we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4 picks in the second round. Let's give them what? Let's give them the Heat one.
Okay.
I think that might be the lowest one. So we're gonna give them the Heat one. They have now that they're stacked with picks in basically every year. They don't have a second round pick in 26 and 27 and 26 and 27. We have several picks. 26, 27. 27, we have only our pick. 26, we have also the Minnesota pick. Let's even add that one. Second rounders, I'm not even, that high of them on them.
All right, let's see how that works. I think that should be good there.
Yeah, let's try this trade. Success. Listen, the cap impact, it's only 29. We were off, Josh, by $29,000. That's dinner money for NBA teams.
Now the long-term implications from this is because so Miles Turner is going to be unrestricted next season, right?
Yeah.
Now you have to ask yourself this question: If the Knicks were to pull off this kind of trade, let's say this happens, right? Who starts? Who's the starting center going to be, right? Because now you got Mitch there.
And I
don't think Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, I don't think you're paying Miles Turner $18 million to come off the bench, right?
Right.
So that might be a little bit. That might be a problem that you would love to have as a fan, but as a coach, I don't think that's kind of easy to manage because there might be more locker room rifts over this than we really think, right?
And on top of that, Andy, if this happens this year, Mitchell Robinson still has to sign an extension, right? So let's say we make this trade before the deadline, we insert Miles Turner into the starting lineup right away. Does Mitchell Robinson want to sign the extension with New York, right? So there's also that as well. So just something to consider moving forward.
Yeah, and listen, it's like you said. I don't think because both of Miles Turner and Mitch Robinson probably consider themselves like starting centers, right?
Yes.
Just Josh, Fanspo gives us the success here on this trade based only on numbers, right? On salary cap numbers. But look at the numbers over here. The Knicks would have 3 more wins. The Pacers will lose 2 wins. That might not be, that much of a difference. But look on the offense, 2.72, and these are index numbers, right? Both are in green. Meanwhile, the Pacers are gonna lose in both categories, right? So I really think that this might not even be the case. I don't think the Pacers, would take this kind of a deal when you think about it like a little bit deeper. I know we're Knicks fans, so we would do it. So let's keep it that way. But if you save this trade, post it to the Knicks and the Pacers community, I bet you that the Pacers fans are gonna come after you and commenting that this is blasphemy, this is wild. They're not gonna do it, never. Listen, that's why I encourage you fans, go out there, try your GM skills, make those snapshots, and holla at me and Josh on Twitter. We're gonna review those trades happily and comment if we think that they're possible and fair on both sides or more sides than 2, right? So
And big up to fanspo.com. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, there's a link to the Fanspo page right here in the description of this video. If you go ahead and look there, there's a link there. You can go directly there and you can go ahead and propose your own trades and do your own trades and see what works financially, right? Some Knicks fans, like someone said, Quentin Gilliam right here, he says, nice breakdown. Some fans need to chill with the 2K trades. Exactly, right? A lot of times we think about these trades in a vacuum. Right, we don't think about the salary implications. I don't think the majority of the fan base really understands the NBA salary cap because it can get kind of confusing, right? It can get kind of confusing, like how are the Lakers able to get all these players and do all this with the veterans minimums and all of that stuff. I think this website and this trade machine is a really good tool for fans to go ahead and see why a trade will work, why it wouldn't work. But the other part to it is beyond the financial part is also, in the locker room, there's also that part of it that Fanspo can't be able to really gauge. And, fans really don't really know how to gauge. You just have to kind of assume that, how it's going to work, right? As far as bringing in too many centers on a roster. The worst case scenario, let's say the Knicks bring in someone like Caris LeVert, right? And they give up, some nickels for Caris LeVert. Where does Caris LeVert even play? Right. So there's that other part of it as well that fans need to consider. But once again, fanspo.com, just make sure you go check them out and propose your own trades and let me see what you come up with. Tag me on Twitter, myself, and Andy's Twitter is in the description of this video where you can be able to let us know. And shout out to For the Love of the Game podcast, my man Worldwide L. I was with him at the game yesterday. It was a great game. We obviously won. And look forward to being at more games. My man Worldwide L and S God from For the Love of the Game podcast. Let me go check them out. I did an interview with Hardwill last week, and I put the link in that description in this video. But make sure you go check my guys out. They got some dope content over there. Andy, I know you said that you also wanted to go look at some of what the fans already put inside the Nick, thread with all their trades. So if you want to go to that now, however you want to get there.
Yeah, because this is the another feature that Fanspo has that I actually love, which is the trade proposals, and this is the place where when you want to share your trade, it drops over here. These are trending, trades that fans posted, minutes ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, that have, high, ratings, right? I, since we're the Knicks fans, I just browse through the trades that involve the Knicks, and I, suggest you guys do too, because if you want to watch those 5-team trades that financially and by salary cap wise they work, some fans from other teams, I think, are a little bit crazy and out of line because those trades would never happen in real life.
Exactly.
So listen, if you want to, filter those trades, I basically, filter by Knicks and also this trade result. I only look at trades that are successful. I don't look at the failed trades because people try to trade Emmanuel quickly for Ben Simmons straight up, and want to have comments under their threads. So this is crazy. But for example, if you just browse through, you have only trade where they participate, right? And
5-team trades,
like you
14
see,
trades.
5-team trades. And listen, look at these names and faces: John Wall, Pascal Akam, Bledsoe, DeAndre Ayton. These are big names. So for this trade to happen, listen, I don't think NBA will love it. For one, the NBA office, but for two, it's really hard in real life to pull off this kind of a trade. So Fanspo
Unless
allows
unless
you.
unless you're the Knicks with Patrick Ewing, but that's a different story. But go ahead, Andy.
Exactly. But let's just go, through this trade. Someone posted this trade 1 month ago. You just click it over here, and you'll be able to see what this fan had in mind. And as you see, it's successful. So the numbers are working. Just look at this trade.
And look at it. Kevin Knox was in that trade as well. Mind you,
Yeah.
this is from a month ago. So
Yeah,
obviously
from a month ago.
this can't happen. Right.
Yeah, in real life. But look at the number of pieces that are added to this. Listen, I understand that the Pacers want to rebuild, right? They get only young guys and Kevin Knox, Kobe White, Obi Toppin, Patrick Williams, Emmanuel Quickly, Ayo Dosunmu, Evan Fournier is probably added here just for the salary factor, right? And 2 first-round picks from the Bulls. While the Knicks get only 2 players, Miles Turner and Karis LeVert. Meanwhile, they send out 1, 2, 3, 4 players, and they get 2 rotation guys, right?
Three of whom are in the rotation. So you still have to be able to fill out the rotation with other players there as well.
Exactly. Right. And the Pacers basically trade all tradable assets they actually have in Miles Turner, Karis LeVert, and Domantas Sabonis, where the only player that can be traded that has value on that team is probably Malcolm Brogdon, but he can be traded in this season, so that's for an off-season trade, right? Number wise, this works, but look at the Bulls. The Bulls trade Kobe White, which is hardly in the rotation, you can say, because some games he plays, some games he doesn't. Patrick Williams is out for the season. AO here, listen, he's a minor player, right?
Right.
So let's not be true with it. I don't think the Pacers are trading Domantas Sabonis for the assets that they're going to get from the Bulls. 2 first-round picks and 1 in this year and 1 in 2028. That's not enough actually for me to trade away Domantas Sabonis. Right. And definitely not Miles Turner, Karis LeVert for Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, and Evan Fournier. So
ask yourself this question right here, right? The Bulls, right? Let's say the Bulls go ahead and add Sabonis to their team, right? They give away some first-round picks. Imagine a lineup with Vucevic, Sabonis, DeRozan, and Levine and Lonzo Ball. Now, I think on paper that lineup looks good, but I'm trying to figure out how those pieces work with Vucevic and Sabonis.
Yeah, under the hoop, listen, they basically
Right.
have almost the same skill set. So you can't have two balls on the court and then let them just play.
In other words, just because a trade is successful doesn't mean it's necessarily realistic. I think that's the point that we're trying to get
Yeah,
across to everyone.
exactly. And listen, like I said, Fanspo, they give you the opportunity to, if you don't know the numbers, if you don't want to use, whatever program, Excel, a calculator on paper or something like that, to make it work for you. So that's really good, as a tool. But you gotta use your imagination. That these general managers are not gonna do it, just based off of that. Let's go just look at one of the other trades. This one is actually one that was made in the
Right.
NBA and someone did it 3 days ago. So it basically, it's the trade. But
Andy, can you sort it by date? Is it possible to sort them by date? Should be possible, right?
I think
Most
so.
recent?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's possible. But I wanted to find Josh. Let's look at this trade because we get Jeremy Grant. This might be interesting, and this is from 6 days ago. Again, it's successful. Let's see which team gives up what. So the Pacers basically trade Caris LeVert, TJ Warren, and they get back Frank Jackson, Kevin Knox Jr., which is not possible, Obi Toppin, Ricky Rubio, which is out for the season.
Right.
Cavs top 8 protected, first round pick. Cavs 2026, 2022 second round pick. I'm not sure that that's enough as a comeback for Caris LeVert and TJ Warren, unless they really want to tank. So maybe that might be the situation. Meanwhile, the Knicks get Dwayne Windler, I think this is Dwayne Wade, right? The guy is basically
Dylan Wade.
Dylan Wade. Okay, I was thinking
like
it
that,
might be
the shooter. He's a shooter.
Yeah, and Jeremy Grant, right? So as far as the Knicks, I think you trade away Toppin and Knox, and you get Jeremy Grant. Oh, sorry, we got more guys over here that we're gonna lose. So let's analyze it further. 2 second round picks that we're gonna lose: Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and 2 first round picks. Top 5 and top 3 protected, which is a weak protection. If you ask me, I rather protect it like lottery at least. So that might make more sense. Question is, if you give up Fournier, Grimes, and Toppin, and you get basically Grant that makes the rotation, because I don't think these guys are going to cut the rotation for Tibbs at least, and you lose 2 second round picks, 2 first round picks, you see that this trade wasn't made by a Knicks fan, at least as far as I see it.
Right.
So
you can, I guess for the Knicks, you plug Grant into the 3 position, right? You obviously lose Toppin and you lose Fournier. You can move RJ back down to the 2. So for us, I think for us, it's not too bad, I would say. But again, you just have to ask yourself, are the Pacers going to make this kind of move? We also lose some draft picks as well, right? 2022 first round.
Yeah. 2 first rounders and 2 second rounders, and Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier. I think that's way too much for Jalen.
Oh yeah, way too much.
That's way too much, right? So
right.
Yeah, so you can browse through these trades, laugh of some, of course,
right.
but you can see trades. For example, let's go just really fast through this one. I remember this trade perfectly. Listen, this is also this trade is not gonna happen for anything in the world. The Knicks would get Ben Simmons for Mitch Robinson, Evan Fournier, 2 first round picks that will go to the Grizzlies, which would send Dylan Brooks, and we would send also Kemba Walker to the 76ers. So basically, the 76ers end of the deal would be trading Ben Simmons for these 2 guys.
Not gonna
I don't think that's possible. Not gonna happen. And
right.
and we know that the asking price on the market for Ben Simmons is a all-star player plus first round picks, right? So they're getting none of this, the return that they're asking for, right? And look, actually, I think this -1 in wins means only this, that we're giving away so many rotation minutes in Mitch Robinson, Evan Fournier, and Kemba Walker, that, and 2 first-round picks that, I don't think this is realistic. But number-wise, it works.
Right.
So if you guys want to try this, or add these pieces and try to adjust the trade, maybe add a team, maybe swap picks, send, instead of these picks, just leave these picks with the Knicks, send these picks to the 76ers, something like that would be more realistic. Just try it, take a snapshot, put it on Twitter with me and Josh tagged. We're going to try to talk it next week.
Exactly. All right, Andy.
And
that was pretty nice. I think fans really understand and get the importance of not looking at these trades in a vacuum. They can definitely go in and do their own kind of calculations and understand how everything is supposed to work via the Fanspo website. Big shout out to Fanspo. Definitely, I put the link to the website inside the description of this video. I'm gonna share this with the Fanspo Twitter, so they can go ahead and share it out there as well. And I want you guys and those out there watching to definitely go into the Fanspo website, propose a trade, make the trade, and definitely tag myself and Andy in it, and let us know what you think about what kind of trades you would make moving up into the deadline. Obviously, we still have Cam Reddish there. I think that we do need to find a way to get him into the rotation. Will that happen via trade? Will he actually earn it? Right? Will he actually earn those minutes? Right? A lot of people are acting like Cam Reddish is going to be here the next 4 or 5 years, and he hasn't even played a game yet. Right? So we still have to wait and see to see how that process is going to work itself out. I think Evan Fournier is playing extremely well right now. Right? And I think because he's playing so well, I kind of want to keep that going in the short term and not just throw Cam Reddish into the starting lineup. I think he needs to earn that. And I know Andy kind of agrees with that as well.
Yeah. So listen, with those proposed trades, just don't put Evan Fournier in there.
Yeah, Andy doesn't want to see Evan Fournier go anywhere yet. But I want to thank everyone out there for watching. Smash that like button. If you enjoyed the content here, smash that like button. Also, leave your comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you think, as well as going out to make your trades and tagging us on Twitter. Andy, you got any final words to say to the people?
Yeah, I'm encouraging all you guys, because I know that NBK fan base is really smart. Some guys maybe didn't have the the interior knowledge about the salary cap, how does it work and stuff like that. Fanspo allows you to skip that knowledge because they're going to reject the trade if it's not possible. I encourage you guys to post those trades for me and Josh. If we're going to have the material, we're going to be doing more shows of this with this content. Probably it's going to heat up closer to the deadline, and probably it's going to we're going to reheat it up closer to free agency, because then you can do those sign and trades options. You can also build basically your roster. We didn't show this option. Maybe in the second episode we're going to do it. Fanspo allows you to sign free agents, build your whole roster
from scratch.
From scratch. So, and they're going to basically hold you accountable with the salary cap situation and numbers. So I encourage you guys, firstly, to try and see how the trade machine works there. I think it's way better than ESPN. So Fanspo, great job on that one. Yep. You can add the picks, you can add trade exceptions, you can add stipulations, protect the picks. This is an awesome tool as far as I see it. And you guys know that I love these salary cap things on NBK, so I really propose for you guys to try it. And again, encourage you guys, so you can be on the NBK show, or even if you don't want to be there, your trade proposal can be on NBK show, on the Kontroversy with us. Remember, if you're gonna make a funny one, we're gonna bash you here. Me and Josh ain't afraid about doing that.
Oh, I ain't holding back, Andy. That's not.
So listen, it's like I'm also sometimes I'm a mean guy. Just on NBK I try to be cool.
Gotcha. All right, and I just want to give one last quick shout out to the For the Love of the Game podcast. Make sure you go check those guys out. Dope content. My man Hector, my man Hard Will, my man Worldwide L. They got some good stuff out there to talk, not just basketball, but there's also some football talk, and there's also hip hop there as well. Tomorrow, obviously, the Knicks are playing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. There's a matinee game, but the Queens Court will be on tomorrow on the channel, as well as Knicks and Bruises. They have probably going to do a show tomorrow, in like the post game, the immediate post game. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified whenever those shows are going to be available. And one last time, big shout out to Fanspo, right? Fanspo, the special sponsor that we have for this video, for giving us the great tool of the trade machine. Make sure you go to their website, check them out. It's not just basketball, folks. They also have NFL, so you can go in there and make your NFL trades. How do we improve the Giants? Please help us, because we need as much help as we can get. So with that being said, I'm going to thank everyone for tuning in. Smash that like button on the way out. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and make sure you follow up with us on Twitter. So take care, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Kontroversy. I'm out.